Alright, so in this one we are going to be reacting to Virgil's My End of the Year 2025 Top 10 Meta Tier List. I'm so curious what this is. I know I've seen a lot of Android 13 glaze recently, and I know I have a lot of Android 13 negativity to say. So maybe 2 weeks it says Zenkai that maybe we'll mention. And, you know, Z tier boost does exist, so maybe Super 17's on the list. Let's find out, see what his opinion is, the correct opinion, of course, and how I can change the correct opinion to be the wrong opinion, and then give the actual correct opinion of my own, because whatever I say has to be true, of course, as the best of the best. Truly.
What's going on, you guys? Virgil. So in this one, we're
Just
going to
like
be going over my Legends Festival Part 3 Top 10 tier list here on Dragon Ball Legends, and it's very interesting. I didn't do an update for Part 2 via video format, so if you guys are not following me on Twitter, I do always post an initial thoughts breakdown like I've done for the Part 3 already over there, but I kind of used the next couple of days after that post to finalize my testings via the top meta comps, the special teams, and all the varieties that you can kind of mix and match here. And there's been a lot of meta shifts, obviously revolving around the new Ultra. Still a lot of great counterparts for all of the LFs that have released during this Legends Festival celebration, and then, you know, characters that have seen some massive resurgence, right? UV4 has kind of been hovering the top 10-ish realm back in 10 for some time, and now his stocks are honestly through the roof with his partnership. Pretty much best duo in the game at the current moment. Very similarly to how we've had like best teams pretty much just be best duos for the last 2 parts of the Legends Festival, where Gohan, this Goku, and any third party would have been, or preference third party could have been, that arguable best team in the game, whether it was this at the time. And then part 1, it was a very similar aspect. It was Gogeta and Android 13 best duo in the game, and any third party play.
Gogeta 13, best duo in the game. Wasn't Gogeta just from name it Goku in part 1? Am I faded? Yeah, I'd be a little faded. I mean, I'm definitely faded, but like 13 Namek and Gogeta, I guess? Were you running 13 in part 1 as often as you were? Wasn't it not just on PO? Wasn't Gogeta just run with like Namek, Goku, and couldn't even fucking name whoever the third was, but whatever fucking third in the game? Was it 13? Shit, maybe it was. I don't remember it being 13.
Janemba, whether it was Zamasu or CMZ, it could have been anything, but the duos are really dominating right now, and based off that third preference, could be really used to split up some of the best lineups in the game at the current moment. But of course, before we do dive in, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you guys are new, because I'm uploading every single day.
Yeah, like my video,
content. But of course, you know, just to meme, yo, top 3 hit Q, he's on the thumbnail. Top 3 hit Q, if you guys know, you know. Just check out my last video if you don't. We're not placing this man in the top 3. I'm gonna start out with the 10s and then move over to the 1s, and then we'll talk about some honorable mention characters. But in the number 10, I really boiled this down. I had to really lock in a Super Baby 2. I had him placed at like 9 or 10, or I think exactly 10 if I'm not mistaken. And there's just so many characters that can be argued in this back end 10 at the current moment.
And Baby's not one of them. Mr. Baby, man, while he is runnable, that's the best word I can put, he doesn't do much. He's a yellow, so every single match you ever run into him, or you run him, he'll be UV4's little bitch boy and just get 3 carded by him. He's not going to live that, whether it be defense neutral or not. He's just going to be his little bitch and get melted, and there's no counterplay to that. There literally is none. Even if you want to run double yellow, well, now you're UV4's bitch double times, with it being Namek, Goku, and himself. No. There's no sense of the word where, in my opinion, Super 17, since we're talking about tier boost units, Super 17s and involved, UG4 or Baby, basically old units, are able to be top 10 right now. There's no sense of that value. Maybe top 20. I'll give them like a 16, 17, 18, whatever. You know, Baby and Super 17 there. But top 10, cuts the list. Can't do that to myself. Can't do that to you and to myself. I don't think that's valid. Baby does not do enough, and Baby's also the worst fucking element he could ever be, because we have 10,000 other yellows. Why the fuck am I running Baby? What the fuck do I gain running Baby instead of Namek, Goku, UI, Janemba? What the fuck am I gaining? Nothing.
Super Saiyan 3 Goku is in the tier boost system. I'm going to be talking about him quite a bit. You'll probably be surprised with his existing placement for me personally. I think he's very valuable right now. But this was my 10. He's now going to be moved to honorable mentions. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the thumbnail character. 9th position, because I'm putting Super Gogeta or Vegeta at number 10, excuse me. I think these guys could definitely be interchangeable. And anything from pretty much 9 through like 13 has that interchangeable individual slash meta team factor. Pretty much argue whether it was Super Baby 2, Janemba, I'll probably put around here as well. So for that 10 plus mark, these are the last 3 characters on my 10 list, 11 list, but any of these could go either way here. So Saiyan's team dynamic, great utility. They did a really good job with this Zenkai. And Hit Goku feels weird because obviously they can look very good, very star dependent, similar with Janemba. Definitely a great character, but in terms of how all of the best meta teams are existing right now, majority of them are Saiyan, Sun Family, GT, and
okay, let me just help here, because it seems like I need to help here, which I'm down. You know, I like to correct any tier list I can with the correct opinion, of course. Hitku, they're not star dependent. I mean, they're Zenkai buff dependent, but they're a tag unit double element. Obviously, they're gonna have Zenkai buffs that are pretty fucking easy. They're not star dependent in any. I wouldn't say so. I've run them at lower stars and I value them much higher than this. Final Flash, same thing. I don't understand the devaluing of these red units when yellows are the ones still being run, despite the fact that yes, blue and green is clearly the most prominent coloring with them, Gohan and Goku, and even FSG there. Name it Goku, Ultra UI, if they're going to be placed higher, and if we're glazing baby to be barely top 10, barely not, would you not value the reds more so? I mean, shit, Janemba's right here. The fuck is, again, what the fuck does Janemba do? Janemba, if baby is nothing, and Janemba's already a third-rate option, well, what the fuck does Janemba do at this point? And the yellows being so high and mighty, you know, they're being above where we are right now. Wouldn't the reds be more valuable instead of invaluable? I mean, I would say Final Flash Vegeta could argue more valuable than Hitku because the neutral and Gohan exist and blah, blah, blah. But Hitku, because now Goku's green, okay? Now you have more potential for Hitku get a snipe. Now Goku run with Namek Goku, Hitku, red, purple, green, yellow, things can happen. I definitely think these units deserve more value. I don't know why Hitku gets weird, like, downplay. It's kind of weird. Like, I get it, Gohan was the god, and Gohan's god, and Gohan is what Gohan is, but it doesn't mean Hitku is bad. I think people correlate subpar to bad a lot of the time, which doesn't really make sense. People do that with Janemba as well. I did that with Janemba. I correlated subpar, because he is subpar to Gogeta, but he's not bad, and I correlated that, and I used him, and I was like, wow, I'm fucking wrong, I'm an idiot. I think people have to use Hitku a little bit more and kind of respect them a bit more to kind of grasp that they are good, they are competent, they are a fine release, and they do their job. It's just, it's more stringent than a Gohan's job that is just as free fucking bullshit as it is. Gohan's just bullshit. Hiku's just not as bullshit. Makes them worse, obviously, but doesn't make them 10,000 fucking leagues worse like this list kind of portraying here.
The powerful opponents are still great, but they're just feeling like sub tier to that, so just naturally they're going to be lower on this list, but nothing individually wrong with this character. His partnerships with Android 13, all of like any character that you mesh up well with Android 13 is going to be very disgusting. So this not only applies to the best characters in the game, but it also applies to the sub, the back end 10 here, which would be PO, all the pure tags that these characters have as well. Done a lot of testing here, a lot of memes. I just seen a tier list with this character in the top 3 placement and them being compared to Goku and Frieza. I don't know if I'm bugging me personally. I don't see it. Very blue card merchant-y / very glazed dependent, even team very special. It's like a very special team.
Well, yeah, you run them on team they want to be on.
These guys look like gods, but in that setting, I will respect them enough because that purple side is combating this Goku. You know, they gain a bit of value with the Part 3 update here. I think they're worse. They were worse off on their initial release with Gohan. Really good utility, very good snowball effects with Janemba. I think he's fantastic. He could potentially even gain more value in these coming months. It's kind of just fluctuating with whatever the best teams in the game are. He's not on the majority of them. He can be on a special lineup, like I said. That makes him look very good. Same thing with this character right here, just more gimmick.
Units can gain value with time passing. I agree. Thank you for that profound take.
rather than
Hear it
consistent.
out
And
loud.
same thing with Vegeta, more
And you need to
consistent
hear
than
it
these
too.
characters, but I think all the better options will be above him. Very good neutral, vanish restore, damage potential, other utilities as well. Just in general, very great Zenkai. So I'll probably place it like this if I had to pick. And then we're gonna be slapping this Super Saiyan 3 Goku at number 7. Can you believe this? He just synergizes so well on pure GT, right? Whether that's Sun Family pure GT.
You know, I ran pure GT for Goku, and that was great. UB4, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Super Saiyan 3. He's just helping with support, and I'm like, here's name Goku gets gauge, supports, here's Gohan revives, supports. 7, just because he's supporting? I mean, I guess because he has a good team basis, but like, is he doing enough on that team to validate him being so high? Again, this is where it always comes into that debate of individual to team synergy. Like, is the unit good enough individually, or is their team good enough together-wise to value their individual or their team-based, I guess, opinion more so than the other? And I don't think this Goku is good enough to value him above Hiku and Vegeta. Sure, Janemba, because Janemba's just in the fucking dumps right now. Sure, but to the other two, can't Final Flash just fucking blue card this guy and kill him? I mean, is that not realistic? Can't Hiku just do the same thing? So, I don't know about number 7 for GT3 but I understand the respect. I understand debatable top 10. Feature boost ain't saving this guy, and he's just a support merchant. I mean, I ran him, and lo and behold, he didn't do fucking jack shit for 99% of the game. Doesn't really do much. He's supporting. Does that give you enough value to be top 7? Not for me. Not for me.
Some blast-centric setups, but this trio right here is one of the best teams in the game right now. It's still going to apply that obviously this character is very star-dependent, but it's just that pure synergy, and it doesn't even need to be this 3. It could be this and another character. Goku is required pretty much in most scenarios to get his peak value to be ran with a GT ally. So it can be this party right here. It can be this party right here. I know this character will fall, unfortunately, after the featured. Oh, it's not S tier, excuse me. He's in featured boost system. It kind of just, it's not as impactful as any of the Z S tier boosts because it's just so much more you're getting out of those tiers. So it's a very slight buff, but it's enough to kind of, it's primarily just the characters that are carrying him in this realm. I think if this wasn't on a featured tier boost, he would still be in a similar range of like back end 10, but I'm getting so much value from pure blast setting, equipment values, the antics, the vanish restore, all the offense utility, gimmicks behind his character as well. Just plays a very crazy role with these 2 units. So we're going to be placing him at the number 7 range is where I'm having him at personally. At number 6, I believe it's going to be Android 13, man. He's
below. Wait, number 6 is Android 13.
Just feel like he's being slept on big time in this meta because obviously his pure tags, powerful opponents, lesser on the list, and everything above him is pretty much just Saiyan, Sun Family, GT. But leader slot merchant, all his individual traits are not tag locked, so you leader slot him, and he's going to support any character in the game. The disrupt, guaranteed safety net, the sub count manipulation, what he's doing for a lot of these characters. Not only carrying the back row 10, but assisting when we have sort of best duos in the game scenario like this, right? There's just a lot of duos where that third role isn't really locked behind. You don't have to run Gohan. You don't have to run Namek Goku. You don't have to run UUI. You don't have to run GT3Ku. If you want to run a support character, these guys will not only carry tremendously, you're still going to get all of the buff utility.
That's enough glaze for me. So again, let me explain Android 13. And again, if you disagree, just let me know. It's like people just forget how he works. It's kind of crazy to me. Android 13 wants to do 2 or 3 cards, primarily 3 cards, to get his full build up. Right? That's how he works. That's literally how his kit works. And his ideal setting is being a safety for you. Mind you, he's blue. Goku's green. Just putting it out there. A fucking problem, SG exists and Goku. So big problems for him. As well as you want to do cards to get support. Goku, after 3 cards done, when Goku's in the field, every time he enters, newly entered, is healing his strikes, blast, and green. So let's say they go to 13, their first card lands on somebody else. Then they swap, or rather they stay in, and then they keep going. Then that gauge gets filled, and Goku took 2 cards from 13. Then they swap, they go to their CMZ, their MZ, their anybody in the fucking game. And then they do 1 more card. Guess what happens after that? Their strikes, blast, and greens are sealed. So effectively, 13 support that he gave you, the 50% support that he can give you, is nullified because your combo's done. Your combo's not extended. There's only a few units that can extend without a card, with it being full power Frieza, with it being UV4. There's very few units that can combo extend without actually clicking a card. So 13's entirely nullified of his value that he ever had, and it's basically from like a 95% value stock to run him to like a 5%, because he's a terrible element for both these greens that are running around right now. He's also not giving you the support utility to the full degree, so there's no purpose to run him for that. So your safety's getting chalked up, your support's getting chalked up. Why the fuck would you ever run this fucking detriment to your fucking team ever in your fucking life? You think he's gonna damage UV4? You think he's a damage dealer? This motherfucker ain't doing damage. We've known this for months. Number 6? This guy doesn't make a top 10 to me. Debatable, sure, with GT3 coup. Can I even debate you in a top 10? I guess. I'll cope it. Manga Gohan, I probably prefer over 13 right now. GT3 coup. Shit, maybe even Super 17. No. There's what's the purpose to run him? I can't think of one reason. Because you get support and then your hand gets sealed because Goku took 2 cards. And then the third card that happens, guess what? That new character that entered within the support, their combo's done because Goku took 3 cards, because 2 from 13, 1 from the new character, boom. What do you do? What is 13 doing for you there? You have to use cards to get a support. So if you get the support and then your hand's sealed, what the fuck does the support do? It just fucking coexists as just fucking air? It's not helping you. It's just nothing. So number 6
and
crazy.
Getting extra damage inflicted on lead. So it's a non-negotiable for me. He's just the best support character in the game. I didn't mention this, but GT3 coup also provides that support. If you want to have an offense preference, he's just not as good defensively, or like his utility is more catered to that offense. So it's just a preference detail right here. He can continue that mass destruction of what the Blast Team GT lineup is doing right now. He also provides extra damage inflicted for GT allies, so not just innate supports like Split in Half. Ultra UI Goku, his gimmick with the UI gauge is just so powerful, it's so broken. So if you're running something like this, even now, which is outside of the GT lineup, the partnerships with the best teams in the game, it's just going to get you very far. So I'm trying to find Gohan here. I don't know what this is. This is the arguable best team in the game.
In part 3, this ain't getting you anywhere. It's GT duo victim. He mentioned, it's ironic, he mentioned the duo ships in this game. Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Goku. Are you not just UV4 and Goku's plaything right here? Is that not just what this team is right now? I look at this and I think, wow, Goku and Vegeta are going to have a really free win this match. Ultra UI is okay, but he definitely lost a ton of value because you can't run that double yellow as often as you could because UV4 got a resurgence. And here's MZ getting hurt by Gohan, but here's UV4 having protection within Goku. You're fine to run that green character, right? You're fine to run that double situation for yourself of the duo 4s. Instead of where MZ had no green ally to save him, here's SG trying to cope him, but even then he's not really helping enough, especially not with disrupts. Now you have that answer, so this setup is just kind of a play thing, to be honest with you.
Part 2, and it holds up very well. So anything revolving around or utilizing this character for his individual traits, it's primarily that, a little bit more carried individually. So many blast-centric teams as well. So if you wanted to run GT and then have UUI on leader, this is more than competent as well. You're going to get very far,
like
very highly, though.
Like
the neutral potential,
I guess it's probably
still
good.
exists. The
I remember her posting about it. And
the abilities behind the unique gauge are just non-negotiables for me. But I'm going to comfortably slap Super Gogeta at number 5. Some of the best partnerships, Sun Family Saiyans, the green dominance, whether you want to do this, the Christmas color combo here, the anti-blast armor you're adding for a lot of these blast setups are just super nasty. Endurance nullification, this is still broken. All these characters are still going to be on these same lineups. They still exist, but I'm trying to think like what are the best. The best duo is this, right? So anything you'd want to slap there, if this works, then. So it is exactly like this. I was just confused for a second because if I'm like, this dude's 3, I literally forgot about a character that I was going to place right next to him. So yeah, UV4 Stonks just flew through the freaking roof here. He hasn't been
mention
this
this
high.
again because I always mention it when I see them. I hate shared tier lists because I just don't feel like they mean anything, at least to an impact of like, if you make a top 10, it should be here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, maybe like 1 tie, like 8 or 9 or 10 or 7 or, you know, below the top 5, ideally. That makes it more like, you're more certain in your opinion. these share tier things, I don't really know what they mean. Like, am I gonna look at share tier of UV4 and Namegoku and be like, oh yeah, I could definitely put Namegoku above UV4? No, where the fuck am I putting Namegoku above UV4? Am I looking at the share tier of 13 and Janemba being like, of course, Hitku. Of course, Hitku is worse than Janemba, debatably. No, motherfucker. I ain't saying all that bullshit. I just dislike these share tiers so much. I just feel like it's like they disincentivize a reason to make a top 10. Like, at this point, God, I can't speak. At this point, just make a good, great, awesome, bad, decent tier. Because I don't know what these even do. I know I'm nitpicking. Obviously, it's the whole point of fucking reacting. But what does it do? Am I really going to look at myself and be like, UV4 Namek, debatable, swappable? It's just not what I'm looking at, man. I mean, I guess it's a debate. I ain't making that fucking debate, though.
Very long.
I don't know who is.
Since his initial
I know
release.
I'm not.
It's just primarily
SG,
because he is more effective on
no,
GT. And guess what's the best lineup right now? The best combination is GT lineup. So the blast, it's even better so that these characters are primarily blast focused. So the revival, GT Riku, the combinations with UI, you want to run Namegoku, the individual other disgusting god in the game, which is FSK Gohan, one of the best teams in the game right now. And all of these here, you're probably going to make like a Saiyan setup for Proud. This would be one of the best teams in the game as well. Other like alternatives could be Hitku, Super Vegeta, MUI, GT3Q. There's a lot of Saiyan lineups in. I've seen a lot of these other units higher on the list, which doesn't really make too much sense because obviously these characters, the Saiyan lineups, the parties just feel a lot.
Why are we glazing Ultra UI such a high degree? I'm so confused. Everyone knows he's victimized by UV4 so much now. I mean, shit, compare the Ultra UIs you see in this game compared to anybody else in that top tier bracket he has right now. Is Ultra UI not just the biggest victim of the fucking game right now compared to what he just was? He definitely is, right? I'm not faded for this. I guess Android 13 might be number 2 because Goku, but like UV4 is so often, and I'm pretty sure it returned recently. UI being in this bracket of how the fuck else could anybody else make this tier? Well, UI, how the fuck are you making this tier? I don't know what the fuck you're doing to make this tier because you could be leader slot on fucking GT. Okay, I guess that's a fucking reason. Just leader slot Hitku, double Zenkai buff, or leader slot Goku, and then just Zenkai buff red units, and then here's UV4 and Hitku glazed up, and then you might see Hitku value be more high than fucking compared to Janemba, because holy shit, that's very low.
Fluid, a lot more dominant and consistent in terms of either survivability, right? We have guaranteed second lives, we have guaranteed protection with the rising rush mechanic here. If you have a GT ally, the swap and snipe ability, the extra life on the KO guard, a lot of sub count manipulations going on, especially here with my boy Android 13 and all this jazz.
It's funny because swap and snipe really isn't effective because KO guard's going to be in every team that's not having endurance spammed, or with endurance spam like Goku and Vegeta, and then Revival Gohan. Well, what the fuck? Where's your swap and snipe? So UI's best mechanic within that gimmick, second best being the auto dodging, but that gimmick itself gets not nullified but lessened. If Goku isn't sniping you out, then UI is not going to snipe you out, and Goku's not sniping most people.
These 6 characters are just God sent right now in the game, and this is how I'm going to personally order them. We're going to have Super Saiyan 4 Goku at number 1. We're going to have FSK Gohan at number 2. We're going to have UV4 at number 3. I know, insane comeback. Insane. Honestly, I thought he would be high after GT got the buff. I didn't realize he was going to be on the best duo. And they really made sure to see his stats again because they returned his banner. They made it basically like a necessity in this meta. If you're running the Goku, he's the best option to run with the Goku. So we're putting Namegoku at 4, we're putting Super Gogeta at 5, and UUI at number 6, 13 at number 7, 3Q at number 8.
I'd keep my same take that I have with it being there's a gap. There's just a gap. The top 5, that's what you're running into in this game right now. I'm not fighting Ultra UI, 13, GC3Q, Hitku, Final Flash, Janemba. I don't fight any of these fucking bums. The top 5, that's it. There should be a literal gap on every list because that's the gap of what you're fighting in this game. That's the gap of what you're trying to counter. The whole game revolves around you counter the top tiers with the lower tiers. And the lower tiers have value because they're good against the top tiers. That's every tier list ever. And it's very simple to understand once you actually do a few. The fuck does Janemba do to counter the top few? That's just a good question, isn't it? I get Final Flash, I get Hitku, I get Super Saiyan 3 GT. What the fuck is 13 doing? as a substitute to a third option to Gohan, Goku, and then 13. Is that why 13 is number 6? Where the fuck he is here? 7? Because he's substitute as a third-rate option? Janemba's a third-rate option on his list. So why is he number 10? I mean, I'm just asking the question, then.
Goku at number 9, and then Super Vegeta at number 10, interchangeable with Janemba. It's probably how I'd personally have it at the moment. And honorable mentions, we'll get into in a second here. Just to finalize this, non-negotiable best teams, KO guard, lock-in, snipe mechanic, a lot of neutral plays here from a lot of characters. The tags, or the switch that this character does, and the synergies behind it, damage, bro. There's a lot of healing going on these teams as well. So I've seen a lot of arguments where, oh, this character doesn't defend well, or he can't. It's because he's an offense gated character. His role is primarily to deal damage, quick damage, and burst.
They're all meant to do offense. Okay.
Whilst characters like Gohan, pretty rounded out, so he's going to be your bulk option. Your Goku's definitely bulking. Double protection scenarios. You could do triple protection scenarios. The problem with this is that you don't get the guaranteed rush ability. You don't get the cancel buff effects, the sub count manip if you're running this. It's still a team that exists. You run Saiyans with Gohan lead for Sun Family. Super Gogeta is a fantastic option to be like anti a lot of the lineups going on. It's just super burst as well without...
Sorry, I just hear anti a lot, and when I hear like, here's the anti-meta character, and it's a top 5 unit. Anti-meta? Motherfucker, he's one of the meta units in the game. But he's the anti-meta? Anti-meta, but while meta? What the fuck does that even mean?
Prerequisites, the anti-blast armor for the lineup, color combinations right now. Not too many crazy purples, which is why I see the Hate Coup value currently. So that does exist. When we have 3 coups, so let's not downplay a little bit. There's 2 purples right here, but so best teams in the game: Sun Family,
one should be
Saiyans, GT, and then all the variants that would kind of coexist here. There's a couple of different Saiyans, couple of different Sun Families, and then a mix of the 2 in GT,
I mean,
being like alternates.
The things that matter.
Yeah, powerful opponents kind of holding on here. I mean, they're in the top 10 list. Obviously, they're top meta. It's just sub best, so we have the best appear, sub best, all the powerful opponents.
That's how I
this
see
guy's
it.
not PO, but powerful opponent
I know I'm
options
not when
right
I
outside of the 10. So Zamasu, CMZ, full power Frieza still hanging on. Definitely not 10 in my opinion. Future Gohan seems a little bit more lackluster now.
Sir. I recommend you try using the unit before you give your take on the unit. I'm just saying. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I have no idea. But just try full power Frieza. Because if I'm thinking in my fucking brain, if full power Frieza is better than Janemba right now, I'm thinking 1,000 million fucking % after using both.
Heads are extremely strong, and then you know, endurance small victims here, just that can be immediately sniped from a character like UV4, just quick blast burst,
just a cult character.
An endurance.
That's his yellow Goku Black.
Future Gohan dropping a little bit on my list.
Whatever you want to call Evo.
I feel like I could keep all these characters down here because they're somewhat just, you don't understand, they're right after the 10. They don't necessarily need to be ordered. I'm not putting this DB Saga Goku here. Surely he's a lot lower than the characters up there. I think there's one other option I am forgetting about, though. Is there not? Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. But, yeah, maybe. Don't know if I'd have him right here exactly after the 10. I don't have him as Z7 yet, but from what I've seen, he just provides another GT ally for the best character in the game. He supports, pseudo-support, extra damage to Saiyans. He's yellow, so he suffers from that issue of just instantly dying. He doesn't really get to disrupt or play his gauge in some instances, so... unfortunately, I'd probably put him lower, like maybe have CM or a MZ above him. His individuals definitely carrying. This guy's 100,000% team carry, but I don't even know if that's enough to place him higher. Trying to order these a little bit more here. This looks pretty good to me, honestly. I feel like there's one character I'm forgetting right now, and I don't know who it is. Super 17, bro. I've seen Super 17 on some list, and I'm just super, you know, like, what the hell is going on, man? Somewhere here in honorable mentions, is this real? I typed it out like 10 times. I'm just spitting out right now. Okay, so 2 other characters I'd probably mention are these two right here. I don't know if there's any other worthy candidates, but they're currently under the boost system as well. Just like Riku's gained crazy value. I mean, he just released a couple months ago, so it makes sense why he's
all right. I seen the main list. All right, I saw UG4 get placed in a tier that's culpable, which I'm good with personally. Yeah, I don't know what the downplay is on Final Flash. Like, again, these shared tiers mean so little at some points because, like, I'm not going to debate 13 with fucking Final Flash. I'm just not. 13 has no fucking recollection of thought to me at this point of usefulness when Goku's just making his whole ability and whole fucking design worthless. Like, I'm not going to fucking cope 13. That's just not in my fucking ballpark. So the shared tier, I wish these were separate. I wish any of these tiers were separate so it's easier to individually point out, like, oh, this and this would swap. I guess here, since they're shared, Final Flash, 13 swap. Hiku, 13 swap. Super Saiyan 3, and I guess Janemba swap, and 13, get down. Frieza, Manga Gohan, CMZ, somebody down. Super 17 at that point. Somebody down there get up. But all that matters, realistically, is the top 5, top 6 even. And same top 6 for me, with it being Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Namek Goku, Super Gogeta, and UI. So, at the end of the day, top tiers are, in my opinion, what I'd have the same thing as most people would have the same thing. But is there anything that's the best right now in this game? With it being the best duo, best trio, Goku Gohan can look like the best duo ship in the game. Goku and Vegeta can look like the best duo ship in the game. Is there a best? I don't think there's any best right now. Best duo, best trio, best team. I don't think that exists. But hey, if you think different, enlighten me. Let me know what you guys think of my reaction to Virgil's top 10 tier list here to end 2025. I'll see you guys in the next one.